Theoretically, I'm on the air. Wait, this is what I have to deal with, monkeys. The last thing I heard before we're on the air is, well, theoretically, you know, given, you know, all the possible alternate universes, you might be on the air. So, can we put up mittens? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is, you know, he's going to talk about this. But we got other things to talk about. We got more important things to talk about than mittens. But that secret video where Mittens was saying what's really on his mind, and really just, I mean, he was pandering to rich donors. Come on. Obama does the same stuff, Carol. Except when he panders, he says to his rich donors, I really care. And when Mitt Romney panders, Mitt Romney's pander is, I don't give a crap about them folks, which is kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. But, everybody has their favorite quote out of the Mitt Romney secret video. And Carol, when they arrest the waiter who set up the secret camera, are you going to donate to his defense fund? Yeah, possibly. Y'all, isn't it great? Come on. Probably a minimum wage drone is going to take down the Romney campaign. There's something very, very neat. What? Something very perfect. Perfect. It's neat. It's neat. It's like, give me my scotch neat. Give me Mitt Romney's downfall at the hands of a minimum wage catering employee. You know, although he's probably not making minimum wage if he's catering a Romney fundraiser. No. He's probably, yeah, did you hear about the guy that hosted that fundraiser, Carol? No. Did y'all hear about this? Did y'all hear about that guy? Mark Lader, I think his name is. The sex parties he has? Oh, it gets better. If you haven't heard of the sex parties that the guy who hosted the fundraiser Mitt Romney was secretly taped at has. That was a really atrocious sentence in the English language, Carol. That was bad. Seriously, the guy who hosted this stuff, he's known for his wild parties. Russian strippers, people having sex in the pool. That's the guy that that's the guy whose house Mitt Romney was at. So anyway, oh, quickly, Carol. Everybody has their favorite quote. Mine is this. Not the Mexican thing. God, if I was born Mexican, everyone would love me. No. No, Mitt. Sorry. If you'd be born Mexican, you'd be like, dang, man, I used to think Mexicans were cool. Who's this Mitt Romney guy? That's what would be happening. But here, not the 47% thing. Even though we know that it's not true that 47% of the people pay no federal taxes. Right, Carol? Just basic. Jon Stewart's covered it. I don't need to go into it here. We all pay payroll taxes, even if we don't pay income taxes. We pay sales taxes, which impact us harder than on Mitt. We pay all kinds of federal taxes. So anytime a politician says, see, they don't say, well, 47% of the people don't pay any federal income tax. They say 47% of the people don't pay taxes and try to get you upset. Or even federal taxes and try to get you upset. Who really doesn't pay any federal taxes is a small, tiny handful of old people, retirees, people with low incomes. It's a very tiny percentage who don't have any money taken out of their paycheck every month. You know? Anyway, so my favorite quote is this. Buried in the video, Mitt Romney says at one point, I'm not kidding, I have inherited nothing. And he's proud. The only silver spoon I was born with, he says, is being born in America. What a dick. Can I say that, Carol? What a dick. I'll say it again. I haven't heard another. Carol, his dad paid his way through college. His governor, I won't even talk about his dad was the governor and all the connections. I won't even talk about the fact his dad was an auto executive, rich man. No. His dad paid his way, and mom, paid his way through college and gave him $60,000 in stock so that he and Ann Romney could live off of it during his time in grad school, during Mitt's time in grad school. But you see, Carol, I'm not even talking about that. Just the fact that Dad paid his way through college, and Mitt Romney says to these multi-billionaires at the sex party guy's house, they were all hoping for something later, Carol. You think there was a stripper later? Mitt was gone because they knew he was a Mormon. They're like, wait till we'll give him some money, wait till he goes, he'll give a speech, we'll eat some dinner. When he goes, the strippers, release the strippers. And the booze. Oh my God, I wonder if they even serve booze when Mitt's around. Not that there's anything wrong with being a teetotaler. Carol, see, you lead me down the wrong path. I hate alcohol. No, I don't. But, anyway, if anybody I know whose parents paid their way through college had the gall to say in public, anywhere, I have inherited nothing, their mama would have slapped them so hard, they'd be reading tomorrow's newspaper today. They'd be like, what? I have inherited nothing. What kind of man says that? What kind of man says that when his dad paid his way through college? Gives him 60 grand in... Oh, okay, all right, I gotta go. That's the one. All right, here's all right. I'm done with Mitt Romney. Hopefully you are too. Hold on. Okay, so we got something coming up that's the exact opposite of Mitt Romney. The exact opposite of Mitt Romney. People growing their own food by themselves, teaching other people, helping other people, the exact opposite of the Ayn Rand nightmare that Mitt Romney wants to live in, where if you need help getting food, too bad. These people, okay. Okay. This is the Interfaith Food Shuttle. I went out to their farm. They have a farm out on Tryon Road near Avon Ferry. They're such great people. They have so many programs to help people, not just do a handout, not just do an entitled handout, but help people grow their own food. It's 12 minutes long. It gets better and better as it goes. I really, really, really hope that you support these people. Okay, Carol, we ready?
Yeah, I think so.
She thinks, I think so. We have two folks who'd like to introduce themselves to you and say hi.
Hi, I'm Cindy Sink with Interfaith Food Shuttle.
Hi, I'm Son Butler, farm educator with Interfaith Food Shuttle Teaching Farm here on Tryon Road.
What's a teaching farm?
Well, we are modeling a small to medium-sized market garden out here. In the last 10 to 15 years, there's been a great deal of public interest in buying locally grown food, and it's become possible to make a living on a small farm, direct selling vegetables to the public, either through farmers markets, on-farm stands, or CSAs where you get a box of vegetables every week.
So the Young Farmers Training Program is a 2-year apprenticeship that is for 15 to 18-year-olds. And our hope is that they get connected to the land, they learn about working with the land, and then they go on to be farmers. The average age of a North Carolina farmer now is about 57, and we want to be training the next generation of farmers.
So it just doesn't get lost.
So that's what the Young Farmers Training Program is all about, is growing that next generation of farmers.
So tell me about this this thing right here that we're seeing.
Well, this is our main production field for this summer. We're growing tomatoes, peppers, squash,
basil,
watermelon.
Look at all that
our
basil
crop here. We're actually working on a value-added project with the young farmers, and they're learning how you can take a crop like basil, which is worth about $4 a pound wholesale on the market, and turn it into basil pesto, which is worth about $14 a pound on the market.
So this goes to local restaurants? Is that, or where do you sell? Who do you sell this to?
Yeah, we are selling basil and tomatoes and herbs to some of our local restaurants, and we're working with Pull & Place over at Pullen Park, and
you supply the vegetables there for them? There,
we supply some of their vegetables.
But you also, this goes to the interfaith food. These vegetables are used to feed homeless people.
Yeah.
What percentage goes to direct feeding?
Well, over the last 3 years, we've produced about 15 to 20,000 pounds a year of vegetables that have gone directly into food shuttle production. But we are actually transitioning more to a sales and retail model now. We've got a small CSA going. We've got about 15 to 20 customers that are getting weekly boxes of vegetables. We're selling at the farmers market up at North Hills Mall, and then we sell to a few restaurants. We're a nonprofit, so this program is grant funded. But grants eventually run out, and we want to make this program self-sustaining. So we are moving more towards a model where we will sell a lot more of what we grow and try to make the program self-sustaining so we can keep it going for in future years.
So it is about sustainability and creating a local food system that we're not in the business of just handing out food. We're in the business of empowering people to grow their own food, to create jobs so that people have the means to buy their own food. So the farm is just an example of that. We want to create jobs with what we're doing, create a career path with young people, create products that we can sell off the farm that can sustain the program. So it really is about creating sustainability in the whole system, and towards the goal of ending hunger and giving people the means to feed themselves.
All this is organically grown? It's all organic methods here?
Yeah, we use sustainable organic methods. We're not certified organic because we're not selling directly to Whole Foods, but we do use all organic methods. We use natural fertilizers. We use some organic pesticides, but we use a lot of beneficial insect habitat and planting flowers to attract beneficials.
Integrated pest management type stuff.
Yes.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Let's go see the goats.
Okay.
That would be good television. Goat poop makes good television.
Okay, so these are members of the former Carborough Bush Goat Patrol. Last year they were helping to keep the Carborough greenways free of honeysuckle and kudzu and poison ivy. And this year we adopted part of the herd, and they're helping us transition our fallow fields. When we're not growing on fields, we grow a cover crop. The goats come in and eat that cover crop, and then their manure helps to fertilize the field.
And how long have you had the goats here?
We've had the goats about 4 months now.
Oh, okay, so they're new.
Yeah, it is a new project, and we are learning as we go.
This is Sigmund.
Sigmund.
He's our alpha goat. He's a boy. Yep.
Alpha goat? They listen to him?
Yeah, or he headbutts them.
Or he headbutts. Oh yeah, that looks... That's great. Are they pretty easy to handle? They're pretty friendly and not too...
Well, we have two males. He and Nimoy are both wethers, which means they're castrated, so you don't have to worry about the whole testosterone thing. So they're
so convenient.
It is. They're very, very sweet. They're all very, very sweet. They're good goats.
So not only do we have our own farm here, but we also have relationships with other farmers to glean from their fields.
What is gleaning? That's biblical. People may not be up on their Bibles. What's gleaning?
Well, it's really simple. You go out into a field that maybe has already been harvested, but there's always vegetables that are left over, and so groups of people go in, and sweet potatoes comes to mind is probably a big one in North Carolina, and dig around for what's left behind. And so far this year, gleaners, and we have lots of groups who come in on a weekly basis, almost a daily basis, to do gleaning at different farms all around this area. But so far, we've gleaned 200,000 pounds of fresh produce.
Of just stuff that was left in the fields after the farmers harvested?
Yes, sir. Just stuff that was left behind.
Wow.
And then we take that and we either turn it right around and give it to one of our 200 partner agencies who then use it, or we may stabilize it ourselves by cooking it into meals, flash freezing it for use, months in the future. But we just find ways that we can use that leftover fresh produce and stabilize it and get it out to hungry people.
And anyone can volunteer to help glean?
Absolutely.
Just by going to your website?
Absolutely. You go to foodshuttle.org. And
Great.
there's a volunteer button, and there's an online form that you can fill out.
You said that you do help set up community gardens around the area as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You have a program to help people set up their own community gardens?
Yeah, we have helped to establish 6 community gardens in Raleigh and in Durham. And as well, we're working on several new urban farming sites. The community gardens, people are mostly growing vegetables for their own use. But on these urban agriculture sites, we're actually teaching people to grow vegetables for a living. There have been studies done by a group called spin farming, or small plot intensive farming, that have shown that you can make as much as $25,000 a year on a 1/2 acre vegetable plot.
In the middle of the city?
In the middle of the city.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
And groups like Spin Farmers are teaching people to start for-profit farming operations literally in their backyards. In some cases, they rent their neighbors' backyards to expand their operations. And what they're showing is that it's really possible to grow food in urban environments. And of course, what this does is it builds the local economy, but it also improves the livability and the sustainability of the community itself by literally making vegetables available within your neighborhoods.
What is this?
So this is our aquaponics program. This is a small-scale version of the aquaponics tanks that Will Allen's Growing Power operation up in Milwaukee is showing people how to construct and run all over the country. In a small tank like this is a 300-gallon tank, you can produce up to 250 tilapia or catfish or yellow perch, and literally feed a family year-round growing their own fish inside a greenhouse like this. And the way this works is we pump this water through these gravel beds, and the bacteria in the beds changes the ammonia that the fish produce in their waste into nitrate, which the plants can then take up. So the bacteria and the plants are actually cleaning the water for the fish, and then in return we're growing this watercress up here in this top bed. We can get about $16 a pound for this watercress.
A watercress?
Selling it to local restaurants. Yes, sir. So this is a closed loop system.
Yeah, where every loop is delicious and profitable.
Exactly. So Mr. Will Allen is going to be coming back down here in November. We're going to put on a breaking ground workshop right here on the farm. And if you're interested in signing up for that workshop, please go to the foodshuttle.org website. We'll be posting the registration information on that in the next month.
And this is doable for families, you're saying. This kind of thing. That's what the whole point is, that this is doable for families.
Yeah, people are putting these in 8x10 greenhouses in their backyard, growing plants, growing fish together, and able to feed themselves protein and fresh vegetables.
So this is
our vermicompost house, where we actually grow red wiggler worms, and they help us compost this mixture of vegetables and hay and straw and brewer's grain that we get from Natty Green's Brewery downtown. But the worms, here's some of them right here.
Yeah.
The worms break down all this organic matter and turn it into vermicompost, which looks like this. You can see how black and rich this is.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And this vermicompost contains all of the nutrients as well as the microbial ecology that our plants need to be able to extract nutrients from the soil naturally. That's how we're able to get by using natural fertilizers instead of highly soluble chemical fertilizers.
And it just ends up in the runoff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Here we go again. You've got rings in your ear. You got kicked around and made of. Looking high, looking low. Where did all the shadow people go? Shadow people go. I want to know where the shadow people go. Stole the bike from the second mile. Saw a band play in the basement. I crossed the path of a friend of mine. Didn't know what that look upon her face meant. Something's gone from her eyes. Something's gone. Be a woman, you could be a man. No, wear the glove on the other hand. Could be twisted and you could be insane. Pushing the envelope against the grain. Or just playing along. Just playing along. I've got something on my mind. I've got voices on the other line, saying hi, saying hello. Where did all the shadow people go? Shadow people go. I wanna know where the shadow people go.
Sorry for the screw up on that. That was totally my fault, Carol. I had the. Is that bright to you? It's bright to me. I had the remote in my hand. I should have hit play sooner. It was totally my screw up. I almost said F up. I know. But I can say shiznit, right? Because Mitt Romney's full of shiznit. Listen. Like I said, the Daily Show's already covered the 47% don't pay taxes thing. It's just a flat, they're trying to talk about full-on class warfare, Carol. That's what is the 47% don't, you know how Rush Limbaugh loves to scream about class warfare? Class warfare, the liberals are all about class warfare. What is 47% don't pay taxes? And that's how they're saying it. I heard one of the Republicans running for Senate who's now, I'm not saying what Romney said. Say it again. Or her opponent said it. Again, 47% don't pay taxes. That's not true, right? That's just not true. The federal income tax has deductions for poor people. A lot of the exceptions and exemptions and everything that allow that kind of thing to go on were put in place by Bush. The first Bush, the second Bush, whatever. Republicans. The 47% don't pay taxes thing is garbage. We've heard this over and over. Here's the other stuff that's garbage. Carol, The states that have the highest percentage of these people that Mitt Romney says don't pay any federal taxes, which is a lie,
Are red states.
are red states. Most of them are in the South. Isn't that weird? Most of them are in the South. Now, that's the highest percentage. Now, a lot of that may be because there are a lot of poor people in the South. A lot of that may be part of the legacy of the civil rights struggle, right? Well, there are a lot of poor black folks in the South. But the bottom line is that Mitt Romney was confusing the 47% who was going to vote, he knows is going to vote for Obama, with this number that's also 47%. It's actually 46%, but that's okay. It's 46.4. You don't round that up. You round that down, right, Carol? 46.4 rounds down to 46, not up to 47. He was confusing the 47% that are solid in Obama for Obama with the 47% that don't pay federal income tax because their incomes are too low, but they pay all kinds of other tax, federal tax. So most of those people are in the South, and most of the states where those people are going to vote for Romney. That's amazing. The other thing is that Romney, when he talks about this 47%, he doesn't talk about them as the middle class. He's happy to include a millionaire in the middle class or a 250,000-aire in the middle class, not the upper class, ha-ha. But if you're part of the 47%, you can't possibly, who voted for Obama, you can't possibly be in the middle class. It's a confused mess. It's a really confused mess, right? You're entitled. Remember, most of the people who don't pay any federal income tax, which is really what he's trying to talk about, are elderly and retired. That's the vast majority. There's no such thing as 47% of the people who don't pay any federal tax. That's just a lie. It doesn't exist. All right. Did you like the food shuttle stuff? Carol, you want to go gleaning? Carol's totally ready to go gleaning. You really want to get up? They glean at farms within an hour's drive and for just 2 or 3 hours in the morning. And if you go to the Food Shuttle website, you can go to volunteer opportunities, you can click gleaning, and you can go out into fields just like they did in the Bible, Carol. I am so totally going to be like thinking about the Bible when I'm out in the fields gleaning. And glean. Gather up the stuff that the tractors leave and use it. How many hundreds of thousands of pounds did they say? Some ridiculous number of hundreds of thousands of pounds. 250,000 pounds of food just left over in the fields to rot. And they send volunteer teams out there, and you can be part of it. Foodshuttle.org. Up yours, Mitt Romney. Real people helping people.